Woo! Yay, cabin! It's a rainy long weekend, and we're spending 4 days off the grid up at the cabin. I'll show you how I'm keeping things powered with solar, the EcoFlow Delta 2 Max, and the Allpowers R2500 power stations. Plus, how's my off-grid fridge holding up? There's good food, a few beekeeping updates, and some thoughts from the quiet moments in between. If you're into off-grid living, solar power setups, or just curious what a 4-day off-the-grid cabin stay looks like in the rain, it's all part of the rhythm out here. Good morning from the off-grid cabin. That's not the off-grid cabin. Long weekend, and it is a rainy weekend, so basically I didn't get any of the stuff that I wanted to get done. I was hoping to get the garden rototilled and maybe get planting in there. I was also hoping to get in and play with the bees, make sure that they're doing okay. But it ended up being a pretty cold and drizzly weekend. It is the Sunday, so we still got one more night. I don't have the dog this weekend. It's always so strange not having the dog. She is still on vacation with her grandma.
I'll be back.
But I do have the cat. Not here. That's the problem. Is I've got to make a long drive back into the city to feed that little bugger. Woo! Yay, cabin! Hey, Bob. Good to be back. Cook up some onions. Écoute-toi tes oignons. I've mentioned how my lighting has always been subpar in the kitchen. But I brought up this nice little fluorescent light. Tonight's menu is salmon. If you've watched any of my other videos, you might be kind of getting bored of my menu. Basically up here I eat salmon, sausage with beans, and chicken, and every once in a while, if I can afford it, I eat steak. I've just got the Allpowers sitting out the kitchen floor here. Simply by pouring it all over the place. So this is charging up. I've got the generator running, and once this is topped up, I'll also top up the EcoFlow. If you got no sun, you need that generator. So we're on day 3 here. We're on day 3 of the long weekend, and this is the first time that I've had to top either of these guys up. I've talked about this fridge in other videos. This is a 3-way fridge, so propane, 12 volt, and AC. It really should just be used with propane, but I'm powering it with the EcoFlow right now, and I also use the generator. I'm planning to switch this out, and I'll be getting either a 12 volt or a energy efficient fridge. You might be wondering about my connection up here for watching the game. Excuse the drone in the background here. I've got the generator going, like I said. I do have cell coverage up here, and even though in Canada we pay, I think, the highest cell rates in the world, you can now get some decent-ish deals, halfway reasonable deals for data coverage. Now, for years up here, I didn't have any cell coverage, or very, very little. If you're looking at buying an off-grid property, you should look into that. You may or may not want to have cell coverage. Some people like to literally get out in the middle of the woods and completely unplug. I'm not one of those people. As if you've watched my videos, you'll know I'm as unplugged as I am. I'm pretty extremely plugged in. I like my creature comforts. I like recording music up here, and I like watching a hockey game once in a while. I've mentioned this in some of my other videos, but I always put a little drop of the honey from my beehives on potatoes. I use it a lot in cooking, so I'll put a drop on the salmon too. But potatoes, especially roasted potatoes or fried pan potatoes like this, a little drop of unpasteurized natural raw honey. Oh my God. Just sweetens it up. A little bit of garlic in there and you got yourself some nice honey garlic potatoes. It's beautiful. The leaves are just dying. I know this video will be dated by the time it gets posted, but see you later, leaves. Well, the leaves are just getting annihilated, so I turn that off. Gonna watch a movie and gonna break out the Joule popcorn maker. I call it a popcorn maker. It's a kettle pot. It's got 3 settings: drink, eat, pop. Tonight we're popping. Tonight we're popping. Oh, okay. Don't pick that up by the wrong end. Jesus Christ. There, problem solved. Won't burn my fingers any longer. Well, it's day 3 of the long weekend, and it is still kind of rainy and kind of miserable outside, if you consider that type of weather. This is problematic. This is all the wood that I have, all the split wood that I have. I've got a lot more that needs to be done, so let's go tinker with this. I've often said up here that I like the rain and I, don't mind rainy weather at all. But not like consistent. Come on, spring. Get here. Get here. I've got the Allpowers solar panels out. These are 400 watts of panels, and they're bringing in about 30 watts today. For such a cold, damp day, and the sun is just trying to break now, which is wonderful. I've been out and about a little bit, and there are so many bees out, and I was really surprised because it is just barely above zero, about 5 or 6 degrees Celsius, and a bit of a breeze, and it has been raining on and off, and yeah, the bees have just been out, just buzzing around like crazy, and this tells me that our spring bee populations are doing well. In the springtime, the queen is raising all of her brood, so the first few weeks of really warm spring, these colonies just start bursting with population. They start packing their colonies with pollen. They're raising that brood so they can go out and start collecting honey and packing it in. They're basically, what they're doing right now in early spring is getting ready for winter. It seems crazy to think about that, but that's what they're doing. In Canada, they've got a short 3 months to go out and collect enough to get through the rest of that crazy winter that we have. Kind of like Canadians, that's what we do too. So go bees, elbows up, ladies. Just wanted to share something here with you. This may not be the most practical use of a power station, but the Allpowers, just to show you what it's capable of. I mentioned, being a little bit light on wood, and this little bit of wood that I split, basically I split it into kindling, but it is pretty fresh, so it's wet. So I got my little heater out, and just to show you, the power station does power this heater. Now heat, anything that produces heat, like heaters or blow dryers, they're going to drain any kind. They need such a high capacity of power that they will drain your power stations or batteries pretty quickly. But in a pinch, you can certainly do this. I've got the generator going, so you know I can recharge the Allpowers in about an hour, just over an hour, which is just crazy. I'm still completely impressed with the technology these days. But so what I'm going to do is I'm going to run this for about an hour or so, or you know, on and off for over the next hour. Dry out this wood a little bit. Pretty cool, eh? I break this out if any of the neighbors stay too long. What are we gonna eat? What are we gonna eat today? Some of this. Thanks, Ben. I've got some cabbage rolls and a little bit of garlic bread. Hopefully, yeah, one slice left. Oops. Okay, let's get some cooking music on here. The heater is drawing 620 watts. So this power station, it's been running for about 10-15 minutes, and it's indicating that it will have about an hour remaining at 74%. So let's play some tunes here. And I'm sorry guys, you're not going to be able to listen, but I'll find you something equally enjoyable. Well, not equal in any margin, but hopefully enjoyable. My mother is German, and we did have cabbage rolls from time to time. Never really liked them, but I still get sort of nostalgic for them at the same time for some reason. This is jokingly what I call my fancy popcorn maker, which it is, but it cooks anything. So we're doing something very basic, just heating up some rice here, but it'll cook meat, it'll do soups and stews, and it'll do some Uncle Ben's street food. Rice, Jesus, that's rice doesn't look appetizing straight out of that bucket, I'll tell you that much, Uncle Ben. I mentioned in another video that I use burr comb. I harvest this from the hive. This is comb that the bees make where I don't want them to make it, so I remove it. It's very dark wax. It comes right from the center of their nest, so it's not good for, you know, products or candles, but it is good for starting fires. This is also a nice little handy tool. I picked this up at Princess Auto. I think you can weld with this. Thank you, Uncle Ben. Is that it? 4 days already? What a fantastic long weekend. I actually got an extra day in here because the boss is on holidays, so I got to work from the cabin today. Happy holidays, boss, if you're watching. What a just a perfect weekend. Perfectly terrible weather. The sun is out now. Literally just 5 minutes ago, the sun came out to kiss me goodbye and said, "I'm sorry that I didn't see you this weekend, Clever Joe, but come back next week and I promise it'll be a full embrace." Whatever the hell that means. I'm waxing poetic a little bit because yes, I did have a great weekend, but the feeling that I have right now and heading back to work into a short work week, I feel just so replenished, grounded, reforested, replanted. And it's a feeling that I got when I first got this property. I remember just the excitement and the possibilities and the opportunity and just the feeling of standing in this forest and knowing, you know, geez, how many years am I going to be here? What can I create out of it? And I know I'm being a little bit sort of ridiculously dramatic right now, but honestly, I'm feeling that way. I haven't had this sort of this feeling, this nice little tingling in my belly for a while now, as far as, you know, what can we do with this? And I think part of that is just how much I've already created here and how comfortable I've made it and how I've sort of figured everything out on my own. And I'm not sure, I'm just being sort of a little bit overwhelmed and like I said, over dramatic with things right now, because just that's how I'm feeling. I'm sort of gushing a little bit just before I head out of here and say goodbye to the little cabin. And another little kind of weird thing, and you know, some of you are going to be like, oh, this frickin' guy is so woke and blah, blah. I always say goodbye to the cabin. I bank it. Especially after a couple of days when I'm feeling like this, and I just, as I'm leaving, I say good night, Bob. See you next weekend. And in my heart, if I don't say it out loud, I just give a little thank you and think about how blessed I am to have this place. Whew, that was a lot. Happy off gridding. Subscribe if maybe you don't want to subscribe now, but like the video if you liked it, and leave a comment if you like. Don't be too hard on me. Okay, cheers guys. See you in the next one.
I'll be back.